Welcome to Black Dragon Gaming, back with another Lord of the Rings Rise to War video. Today we're actually going to unlock Lothar, one of the new Tier 2 Nazgul that have just come into the game. I just want to have a quick look at some of these skills. We did see this in the dev video. Right, so this guy is obviously going to be a lot more catered towards might. So by the time you max this out, you should have plus 60 on might, so he's going to look to do a lot of damage. Right, so dealing more physical damage to one enemy, which also carries the pursuit effect, which ignores the target's evasion. Right, and then it also deals more physical damage to the target with the lowest amount of hit points, so he'll always target the weaker units on the opposition team. Then we have the pallbearer. Right, so this guy looks like he is catered to be running the Reapers once you get to tier 3, which are units that do more damage later in the battle. So by ramping up their damage, they're also going to have a lot more effect earlier in the battle, but by the time you get to the end of the battle, these guys are really going to be packing a punch. So you want to get something else in there that's going to protect them a little bit as well. I'm not really sure what that is going to be, whether it means that you have a chance to do a maximum amount of damage rather than the lower scale of those units, but I guess we'll wait and see if we get to test him out a little bit later. Alright, and for this one here, so your commander, for every 5 instances of damage dealt, all units will deal extra damage in their next attack. So if you can get your commander to be really fast, so for every time he does 5 instances of damage, you're going to ramp up the damage for all of the units that you have. Right, so his Respect 3 abilities are your normal Ring Wraith abilities. So you're going to have the Nazgul Screech with the chance for a stun. And you're also going to have the Morgul Poison, which is going to deal the extra poison damage. For your Respect 5 ability, when they released the video for him a couple of days ago, they didn't show this at all, so it'll be interesting to have a quick look. So the Fallen Knight, so this is going to be a lot better if you're in the Angmar faction. So it's actually going to increase your damage, which is also affected by might. When you max it out, you also get an extra 15 might just for a little bit of extra punch. Alright, and this is also in addition to that, so you can use other mounted units with him, but you're going to get extra effect if you are running Fallen as well. So it's just a chance of dealing extra damage there. And then for the other skill there, the Armor Corrosion, so all allied units will ignore some of the target's defense. So if we've got 5% at level 1, you're probably looking at 35% by the time you max that out. So yeah, if you're running Fallen and other cavalry, this could be really effective. Even for the Variags with the Champion, because that's a cavalry unit, you're going to see some of the bonus effects if you max this out. So he may work quite well in the Variag faction, along with the Reapers, and maybe the new Wraith units, I think could work really well as a combination for this guy. Alright, so let's go and try and unlock this guy. Now before I go through this event, I want to just quickly go into my wish list, because I haven't set that up yet for the season. So because I almost have Gorebag at Respect 10, I want to try and increase my chances to get the Respect items for him. For my Tier 2, I've got Lurtz at Respect 8, so normally I would put his item in here, but because I want to try and maximize how many Respect items I get for Lothar while we're opening this chest, I think I'm just going to add that one for now, just for the sake of this opening. And then for my Tier 3, obviously getting the Witch King up as high as I can possibly get him is always going to be better, so I'm going to put the Ancient Dragon Scale in there. Alright, so let's start opening some chests. Now I'll do this in 5 so we're not sitting around forever waiting to open up 100 chests. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so we've already got one respect item for Lothar there. Another one there. So what happens with your wish list is when you add that item, when you get a tier 2 drop for an item, it will actually just increase your chances for it to be for that character. Not guaranteed, but it does increase the chances, and we've seen that already. So we get 3 more from the chest progression. Okay, this is for the other Nazgul as well that's just been released. So hopefully we'll also get a tier 3 invitation somewhere along the line as well. Because when you restart the season, the other thing that will happen is all of your invitations will reset as well, so you have a chance to get them all over again, or at least they did for season 2, so I'm hoping the same thing happens for season 3. So even for the free-to-play players, save up your Matham coins and wait for these events to come around to spend them, because you actually get, well, it seems as though you get better drop rates on purple and gold items and commanders as well. So it's always better just to save them for these events rather than just spending them on the normal chests. Alright, so that will help me build up the Undying. Got some purple gear there as well. More purple gear, another respect item for Lothar. Alright, these bone helms are actually quite a good item, and I think I need to refine one of mine as well, so keep bringing them on. Alright, the Undying. We're getting quite a few respect items here as well, which you can use on either the Shadow or Khamul. I put these always into Khamul because he is the better commander, and I do have him at a higher respect level, so the higher I can get him, the better that will be. Alright, the crossbow. Alright, so Khamul is going really well. Looks like I'm going to be running a lot of ring raids this season. Alright, so even though I put the Witch King's item on my wish list, I seem to get a lot of the Undying as well. Oh, the Fine Smoking Pipe. That's always a very good accessory to have as well. Getting a few gold pieces as well coming through, which is always a good thing. Tracker plate. Let's have a quick look at this one. I think I do have this, I'm not 100% sure. But the extra defense for Orcs and Urukai. So for this particular commander, this would be really good, especially when you're running the Reapers for this character, because the Orcs will get that bonus defense, which always comes in handy. You want them to be able to do a lot of damage without losing a lot of troops in the process. Alright, more dark parchment. More respect items for Khamul. So you will get a lot of green and blue items, but also if you're only in early game, the blue gear, make sure you max that out to 4 stars, because that will always have better stats than just your base level purple and gold gear. So base level purple and gold, don't worry about using them until you can build them up a little bit. If you do have a few pieces of each, combine them together and make one stronger piece, even though you might be losing some good gear. Because if you're free to play, you want to be able to make sure that you have at least one commander that has really good gear on him, and that's one way that you can do that. Alright, at least I'm getting some purple with each turn. Alright, more dark parchment. It'd be good to unlock this guy as well, just for the sake of having another character to have a good look at. Alright, so these respect items are coming through thick and fast here. More dark parchment. I had a similar thing with Baruthiel last season where I'd always get the respect items for her, but it never unlocked her. I'm over halfway to unlocking her, but to be honest, she's not really the best character anyway, so I'm not worried too much whether I unlock her or not. So knowing my luck, if I get a tier 3 character, it's going to be her. But that's the end of the 100. Alright, so we will have enough here to unlock him. Just pump everything into him and we'll see how far that gets us. Alright, so he's only at respect 1, not too far away from respect 2, so we've still got a little way to go on him to be able to really test him out. But later on in the season, hopefully I can build him up a little bit. Might be lucky enough to get his invitation. Surprised I didn't get any invitations at all in that opening. I usually get a few, at least the tier 1 and tier 2s. Maybe they just didn't reset them for this season, which wouldn't